Hi, I'm Jackie Wilhelm. I'm the Director of Children's Ministry at Crossroads Christian Church in St. Matthews. This month, we're talking about integrity. So what is integrity? Integrity is being truthful with everything you say and do.
We don't have to act like we're someone we're not. We don't have to hide who God made us to be. With God's help, we can be brave, honest, and true.
This week's Bible story certainly proves the point of our memory verse. Anyone who lives without blame walks safely, but anyone who takes a crooked path will get caught.
A few weeks ago, I told you about two prophets, Elijah with a J and Elisha with an SH. Well, today's story is about Elisha with an SH. You can find today's story in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 5.
This is Naaman. Naaman is a wealthy man and a commander of the army of the king of Aram. Nathan has a skin disease. Now, I'm sure that the skin disease wasn't really green, but my green sticker certainly helped you see it. One day, one of Naaman's servant girls told him there was a prophet in Israel who could help him with his problem. The prophet's name was Elisha. Naaman really wanted to get better, but he had a problem. Aram and Israel were enemies, so he was afraid to walk into Israel and ask to see Elisha without a note from his king. His king wrote the note, and he went on his way. Naaman took the letter and so many expensive gifts to the king of Israel. But the king of Israel was afraid that he was being trapped because he knew he couldn't help Naaman. Elisha heard what happened and told the king not to worry, to send Naaman to come see him. So that's what happened. Okay, well, that's sort of what happened. You see, when Naaman got there, he sent out a messenger instead to tell Naaman what to do. Here are his instructions. Go, wash yourself in the Jordan River 7 times. Then your skin will be healed, and you will be pure and clean again. Naaman was angry that Elisha didn't come out to greet him himself. But his servants convinced him to do what Elisha said. Naaman washed in the Jordan River, and sure enough, he was healed. Naaman went back to Elisha's house to thank him and to give him a gift, but Elisha wouldn't accept the gift. Listen to what he had to say. I serve the Lord. You can be sure that he lives. And you can be just as sure that I won't accept a gift from you. Elisha wouldn't take the gift, so Naaman left and headed back toward Aram. This is Elisha's trusted servant Gehazi, and boy, did he get mad when Elisha wouldn't accept the gift.
I'm pretty sure nobody had ever told Gehazi that you should cool off after you get mad before you make a decision that you'll regret later, because apparently he didn't do that. He decided to chase down Naaman.
When Gehazi caught up with Naaman, he lied and told him that Elisha had asked for 75 pounds of silver and 2 sets of clothes. Naaman happily agreed. In fact, he actually gave Gehazi twice as much silver as he had asked for. Gehazi headed back to Elisha's house and hid the gifts. He thought he'd gotten away with his lie, but Elisha knew what he'd done. Gehazi stood before Elisha, and Elisha asked him where he'd gone. Gehazi lied again and said he hadn't gone anywhere. Elisha told Gehazi that he knew the truth because his spirit had gone with Gehazi. And here's where it got really bad. Check out what Elisha said to him next. You and your children after you will have Naaman's skin disease forever. Gehazi may have gotten some silver and some new clothes out of that deal, but he lost Elisha's trust, and he and his family had to deal with that terrible skin disease forever. Gehazi found out something really important, and we need to know it too.
When you're not truthful, you lose trust. We have an example of what it's like to lose trust from Gehazi's story. But we have an even greater example of what it's like to be trustworthy from God. When God makes a promise, you can count on it. God promised to send a Savior, and that's exactly what happened. Every day, we need to live in a truthful way. But what does that look like exactly? Well, it's pretty simple, really. You do what you said you were going to do. And when you mess up, you admit it. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. That makes you a person of integrity. That makes you someone that everyone can depend on.
That may be simple, but it isn't always easy. I'm sure glad we have a loving God to show us the way. And I cannot wait to learn more about our God with you next week. Goodbye.